Bushel Master, brethren and friends, I rise to propose the toast to the regiment, and in doing so, with the dressing of our comrades, we move back to the 18th century. Colonel Stapleton, on the 1st of February 1793, Great Britain was again at war. The declaration of war by the French Republic had caught Great Britain at a disadvantage, as it had both disbanded most of the newly raised regular regiments from that period, 1776 to 1783, and after that conflict had ended. And the government had thus reduced its own peacetime establishment to practically nil. Now, whilst the government immediately took steps to recruit its regular regiments for general service overseas, it also established a regular force of Fencible regiments for home service only to augment the embodied militia of the kingdom. Your York Fencible regiment was raised by command of the York City Council in the city of York on the 30th of October 1794, by virtue of a warrant raised for raising a regiment as follows: to our trusty and well-beloved George Stapleton, Esquire, whereas we have thought fit to order a regiment of Fencible men to be forthwith raised under your command, which is to consist of 10 companies, of 4 sergeants, 5 corporals, 2 drummers, and 95 men in each, with 2 fifers to the grenadier companies, besides a sergeant major and a quartermaster sergeant, together with the usual commissioned officers which men are to serve in Great Britain and Ireland alone. This, given under our seal at the Court of St. James on the 30th day of October 1794, in the 34th year of our reign, by His Gracious Majesty, and signed by Lord William Wyndham. Gentlemen, as you know, your regiment then was moved to Ireland, and in 1798 was billeted in the Market House, Newtownards. On Friday the 8th of June 1798, in the afternoon about 4:30, United Irishmen, drawn from Killinchy and Killyleagh, led by one Richard Fraser of Ravarna, ambushed a force of 270 York Fencibles in the Domain Woods on the Cumber Road, Saintfield. Your regiment was in dire straits, and indeed a York Fencible at the time was heard to recall that for danger and desperation this skirmish exceeded everything he had hitherto witnessed. But help was at hand. With the arrival of Orange men from Belfast and Newtownards, as a Mr. James Rose Cleland, His Majesty's Deputy Lieutenant for the County of Antrim, commented, I was more than glad that the Orange men went with me to the Battle of Saintfield in the year of '98, and by their gallantry rescued the York Fencibles from utter destruction. I shall ever feel grateful to them, and in case of any similar emergency, I shall look again with confidence to the support of these gallant and loyal Orange men. Gentlemen and ladies, before this rebel force was driven off, your York Fencibles lost 3 officers, 5 sergeants, 2 drummers, 54 other ranks, and 1 clergyman. The regiment, having thus served so gallantly in Ireland, returned to England, and following the direction of King George III, whereas we have thought fit to order a regiment of Fencibles, commanded by our trusty and well-beloved George Stapleton, to be disbanded and discontinued on the establishment of the army, your regiment ceased to exist from the 29th of October 1802. But your association with Ireland and with the Orange men of that land lives on, as many in your ranks joined the Loyal Orange institution, and thus, on behalf of the Bushel Master, brethren, and valued friends of the Royal York Fencible Loyal Orange Lodge number 154 gathered here tonight, I ask you all present to charge your glasses and rise with me to toast York Fencibles. Ladies and gentlemen, the regiment.
The regiment.